what's up, everyone? This is Drinks and Reviews Podcast, episode number 7. I'm your host, Illyrio, along with my friends Nelson and Goodell. What's up, guys?
Yo, yo.
What's up?
I'm actually looking forward to tonight's discussion. As you guys know, Suicide Squad just opened up, I believe, on Thursday or Friday. We all got to see it after the movie came out. It has the internet, as well as the critics talking, as well as so-called Rotten Tomatoes. So we're going to discuss and pretty much dissect the movie, see what we think about it. Is it really that bad, or is it just critics talking nonsense, pretty much? I'll start off with my review with a quote that was given by Margot Robbie, and I quote, "At the end of the day, critical acclaim is really nice, but we made it for the fans, and if the fans like it, we did our job." End of quote. And the reason I bring this up is because, as a fan of comic books, I'm actually pretty happy with the results of this movie. I will say that Suicide Squad is like Batman vs. Superman all over again, and the reason I say that is because critics slammed the movie, but comic book fans like myself, as well as other people out there, actually enjoyed Batman vs. Superman. I saw it, and for me, so far, to be honest with you, it's one of my favorite DC movies so far. The thing about these critics, man, and all, Rotten Tomato and stuff, is just awful. In my opinion, I don't think the movie deserves the score it's been getting. And they're making it to be as a train wreck and this and that, and unfortunately, I have to disagree with them. I actually enjoyed the movie. I went to see it at the IMAX. And from the get-go, there's always little things that either studios or movies do that, as a fan, you kind of enjoy. And I'll give you an example. So I saw it at the IMAX, and right from the get-go, and I've mentioned this before, I'm a huge fan of the look of the film, the color palettes that they use. You got the purples and all that. And the movie hadn't even started yet, and the whole IMAX screen, counting down to the movie, they use the same colors, which is awesome. And as a fan, things like that, you're like, this is kind of cool. They didn't have to do that, right? So that was one thing. So the movie hasn't even started yet, so I'm like, I'm enjoying this. So anyways, Suicide Squad, to me, man, it rocked. The movie is badass. It's funny and entertaining. The movie also plays like a comic book, and what I mean by that is, you have the cut scenes. It's like almost like you're watching a comic book on the big screen.
The background.
They even went as far as to use letterings when they're introducing the characters, and I thought that was really, really cool. The movie, in my opinion, out of all the characters, there's some awesome characters in this movie, man. And to me, the two characters that stole the show is both Deadshot and Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
I think Will Smith has never been better. Easily one of his probably best action performances. Harley Quinn killed it as I'm sorry, not Harley Quinn, but Margot Robbie killed it as Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. She was fantastic. She played that role like it was just that good. And as you guys know, and I'm sure you guys will agree, she was amazing in the movie. Her performance was good. I thought she was creepy, she was sexy, and just crazy. Just like the comic books. There was a lot of moments in the movie that basically just told us, the fans, hey, I'm Harley Quinn. Mm-hmm. Little moments that you see in comic books or the cartoons, for example, whenever she was kind of bowing down with the bat behind her neck, and she kind of blows a kiss when she's entering the bar. Dude, that's just like the cartoons or the comic books, and I thought that was really cool. The movie is not perfect. There's some things I could easily say that I didn't like, but overall, the entertainment to me was there. I think all the performances was really great. Jared Leto's Joker, I think, was actually awesome. I liked it that it was more of a gangster Joker. It was really good. I wish there was a little bit more of him in the movie. But again, the movie's not about him. It's more about the whole Suicide Squad or whatever. Overall, though, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I just hope that fans out there or whoever wants to go see this movie, don't listen to the critics. Just go check out the movie and just give it a chance and check it out. So I have a lot more to say, man, but we'll talk about it as we go into scenes and stuff. But what did you guys think, man?
Well,
Nelson?
before Goodell rips into this movie with his Bible of shit, you know, I agree with you, dude. It's like we're in a weird time with people and their comments, and people are even judging the movie before even watching the movie because of some critic or whatever. It's like you can't think for yourself, But honestly, like I think, regardless of the cut, because there's two cuts for this movie, right? And we got the other cut. I think Joker was supposed to be in a little bit more in the movie for the other cut, and this one, he wasn't so much. Even though I feel like he did show up. I feel like it was a great movie. It's entertaining, man. Like everything. And I agree with you. There were some things that didn't work. Backstories. The Enchantress, like some certain things about her that didn't work. But all in all, it's actually the best villain we've seen from both Marvel and DC, actually, because I don't think Marvel has presented a villain at this caliber. You know what I'm saying? I think they did a really good job in that corner. But all in all, Harley Quinn, Margot Robbie, Will Smith, which I'm not a fan of his like these days. I think he did a great job accepting this job as opposed to Independence Day 2. I think that would have been a flop for him, so he did the right choice there. Even Captain Boomerang, I don't know the actor's name, I liked his performance. I wish I would have stuck him a little bit more, because I feel like the trailer stuck more of his scenes in there, and then the movie didn't really have a lot of his stuff in there. Jared Leto, I wish I would have had a little bit more Katana's background in there as well. But all in all, dude, really fun movie, entertaining, and it's good. It's good to finally see these characters on the big screen, as real people as opposed to an anime,
Right.
But yeah, dude, I had a good time. The wife, the kid, everybody enjoyed it. Great movie.
Yeah.
I had a better experience than BVS, I'll tell you that much. At least non-Blu-ray version,
Right. What'd you think, Adele?
Well, like Nels was saying, I have a little list here. My list is just basically, if we do talk about, like, at least I have little notes. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. When people would keep asking me, like, oh, how is it, this and that, it's really kind of hard because this type of movie was, again, just like Batman vs. Superman, was designed for fans, for comic book fans, for fanboys, for out there, animated series. This movie, if you don't know anything about Task Force X or Suicide Squad or any of these characters, you might have been lost. But overall, this movie, I really, really enjoyed it. The colors, like you were saying, Ilario, they're so vibrant and so like fresh and just awesome from the very beginning.
Right.
I think Kevin Smith said it was like a Hot Topic just blew up in there. It was like a Hot Topic essentially like kind of blew up. Which is it is true. It was like, wow, it's like you walk into the Hot Topic and like you see like all the way that the story is. This whole movie was like that. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. Like I've seen Deadshot, I've seen Amanda Waller and Colonel Flag and Captain Boomerang on the small screen, and then to see these guys on the big screen. It was such a great interpretation. Like I love the biggest worry for even a year ago, because I was seeing one of my old posts from Facebook, was the biggest concern I guess everybody was like how Margot Robbie was going to portray Harley Quinn. Was she going to do the character justice? What she was going to do? A lot of people when she even started seeing her costume design, which she wasn't wearing the court jester outfit. Everybody was already hating on it. She is Harley Quinn. I mean, I just cannot. I cannot imagine anybody else. I can't even think, like, even someone who come close. And I've seen Harley Quinn on the small screen, too. She used to, she was a villain on Birds of Prey during the Smallville days. And nothing near this caliber. I mean, the mannerisms, the laughs, the quirks. Like Larry was mentioning, she winked. Like, she was just, like, batshit crazy enough to be, like, to make it funny. but like it's scary at the same time. Like I would not go in that fucking cell to try to detain her either. You know, you're like grown men who were just afraid to go into that cell because she's just batshit crazy, and she was just, I think she complimented with the Joker very well. I don't know why everybody was hating on Jared Leto's Joker. I mean, every Joker that pops up, even whether it's animated or even on the movie screens, it's not going to be the same Joker. Otherwise, it would just be boring. I think he did a great job. I think his interpretation was awesome. You know, he's the clown prince of crime, and I really think the relationship between him and Harley Quinn was great. Usually on the animated series, he doesn't really give a shit about her. He's just like being, he's just leaving her to hang and dry or whatever. And here was like kind of like a little love story. But I mean, it worked. It really worked. It was awesome to see Batman. We already knew Batman was going to be in this movie. We already knew that he was going to be on top of the car. But to see him in other scenes was a surprise for me, and that was a pleasant surprise. Like even with the Deadshot scene, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I was like, what? And I'm glad I didn't read that. Like I'm glad that didn't happen. But I mean, I have to give it up for Margot Robbie. She is Harley Quinn. Jared Leto did an awesome job. The person that really, Viola Davis, she did an amazing job with Amanda Waller. Like she was like fucking heartless, like cold, and she did a great job of interpreting Amanda Waller. Everybody else, I know a lot of people liked Will Smith is playing his portrayal of Deadshot. I don't know, he did it all right for me. Like the action scenes were great, but I guess when he was just like kind of talking, it just wasn't really. I mean, I don't know. It could have been for me. It wasn't like okay, well, like Will Smith brought a great performance as Deadshot. Like with the action scenes was great. I loved it when he was on top of the cars and he was firing. I love when he was grabbing the weapons and shooting. But I wasn't. If it was somebody else playing Deadshot or it was, I don't know. I just was something about his performance as Floyd. Was it Floyd Lautner? I forgot his name. But as Deadshot, when he's dressed up as Deadshot, yeah, I think he brought it. But as kind of like the slow scenes, I don't know. There's just something about it. But I guess Captain Boomerang. I wish they would have brought him in more. Like Nelson was saying that they portrayed him like in the movie like he was gonna be a predominant character. And to be honest, I think every scene that I saw him in I already saw it in the previews, except for the cameo with the Flash, and which that was another. I mean, I kind of knew that was going to happen, but what I didn't know was that Zack Snyder actually directed that scene, and he brought that in. So Zack Snyder actually had a part in the Suicide Squad as well.
No, I didn't know, man. That's interesting. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, Zack Snyder actually filmed that scene in London for the movie.
Yep.
And so it was good. I mean, Killer Croc, I wish they would have shown him more. Half the time I didn't understand what he was saying until the very end. Diablo, I don't really know too much about Diablo, and then this movie actually made me interested, picked me interested to learn more about him. I think he has an awesome power, and his story was kind of like a sad. I'm glad they kind of like made it like he's just like an everyday kind of gangster from the streets, but then he was kind of like a redemption story, and I really like that he really humanized the movie, and I mean overall I like that. The soundtrack was awesome in this film. It's one of the most expensive soundtracks they got out there.
I have to agree with you, man. The movie itself, like everything about the movie, the way it looks, it's amazing. It's awesome. I enjoyed it. And I agree with you though with the music, the score, as well as the different songs in the movie. It just fits so well with the film. With the look of the film.
I like the hip hop element with or whatever you want to call it with Joker, man. I feel like that added a different element than having the regular, Joker, whatever psychotic, whatever. I like Jared Leto's take on the Joker this time with the music, with the way he didn't give a shit, but then he still cared about her at the same time. That's
right.
Cool,
Hey, going back real quick, we were talking about Harley Quinn, and I had mentioned this in the chat, and I mean, like you said, Goodell, I can't picture anybody else that could play that role. I mean, she basically, I mean, killed it. I mean, Margot Robbie, like I mentioned, is Harley Quinn, and from now on, anytime we see that girl, man, or that actress, I mean, she's an up and coming actress in Hollywood, dude, and every role this lady has played in, she's been doing really well, man. And this right here is just gonna catapult her career to even greater roles, I'm sure. And I hope she gets the recognition because, like you said, even small scenes, facial expressions, the way she would smile, the way she would laugh, it was just Harley Quinn, dude. And it's like she was awesome, dude. She was really really good.
Well, the one point was when she was being picked up by Joker in the helicopter, and where it looked like Deadshot was gonna like shot her down,
right?
And the way she just did like the whole kind of swinging and laughing or whatever, I was like, oh my god, that is straight from the animated series. This girl is amazing. Like that wasn't like a big thing, but just that little detail. I mean, I can't. She really brought her A game on this role. She just did.
And you know what, man? Was I the only one? Because I for a second there, I actually thought he killed her, man.
No, I knew that.
I figured that
you missed on purpose, bro. Like something told me he wasn't gonna shoot her.
Yeah, because I was thinking, man, I hope this ain't true, man.
That would be the stupidest thing ever. Think about it.
I agree. Back to Deadshot too, man. You know, one thing about characters that I always have sometimes an issue with is that sometimes, for example, Deadshot, you know, his mask, I think is badass. And sometimes, you know, a lot of either villains or heroes in movies, sometimes it seems like they don't use the props a lot, you know, and maybe because he didn't have to use it all the time, but I liked his mask, man. I wish, you know, you would have seen him use the mask more often.
But it was really like they showed it, but it wasn't really like shown a lot.
Right.
The times that he put it on, it was almost like, why are you putting it on?
Yeah, like, what's the point? You know?
He put it on, and then like it was almost like 2 seconds later he would take it off. Like the scene where he was on top of the cars, or even when he shot that guy, he was about to talk.
Mm-hmm.
He was about to talk to the cops or whoever he was going to talk to. Like if he wore the mask in those times, I think it would have been a great. You know, it would have been more of an impact, I guess.
Right.
For me, anyway. I don't know if you know. The scenes were great. I just think that, you know, for Deadshot to be like Deadshot, because honestly, when you see Will Smith without the mask, you're just seeing Will Smith shooting shit. You don't really think of his Deadshot that's shooting shit, you know? Like if you're wearing the mask, because that's what makes him, you know, known that he's Deadshot. So I think that's what was kind of bothering me.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I enjoyed the movie a lot. You know, like I said, I just don't know what the fuss is all about, man. I mean, like I said, the movie's not perfect. There's a few things here and there that I would change. You know, one thing, and I'll tell you, and we can talk about what we didn't like, is what's the villain's name? Incubus, the brother?
Oh, yeah.
I thought the villain was okay.
I think they needed it for story purposes. It wasn't really
and you know, even with my small complaint about that, I'm not gonna knock down the movie because you know what, I still enjoyed it. You know, like I said, not every movie's perfect because we can dissect this movie and literally write down stuff we don't like. You know what I mean? Mm. But overall, at the end of the day, I walked out. I walked in with really high expectations, and I was actually pleased with what I saw. You know, everything from the trailer, and speaking of trailers, man, I have to agree with you, Nelson. I think on the last show you mentioned that what these movie studios need to stop doing is putting a lot of scenes in these trailers, man.
Because they end up not showing most of the stuff in the movie itself.
Exactly.
Like the part where Captain Boomerang's drinking the beer and like he's hiding out, they didn't show that.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like stop showing so much crap. Show 2 trailers at best. Leading up to the end of, you know, when the release is about to happen, and that's it. You don't need to show all this shit and like hype it up more than what it is.
Right.
Automatically, when the first time I saw Suicide Squad, or I remember talking to Goodell, and we were like, "Oh, dude, you know, this movie, you know, that's it. that's all it needs. It doesn't need any more hype to it. And I think they hyped it up so much that it eventually started getting hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to be smarter. You know.
I still think, man, that this movie was actually made for the comic book fans, man, because I don't know how you can go into this movie and not actually enjoy it. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just my opinion, man. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I enjoyed it. I'm glad I'm not one of those that actually hated it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, overall, dude, it was a good movie, man. I bring on Suicide Squad 2, and hey, bring on a spin-off Harley Quinn solo movie. I
would actually enjoy it if they did the movie with Joker and her.
No, it's funny you mentioned that.
Because that relationship between the two was just like dead on. It was awesome. I really want to see them more on the big screen. I think those right there are DC cash cows. And I agree with Valerio. Like, the critics and reviews. I mean, they're always going to be, whatever, one way or the other. They're never like, nobody's really happy. But I think at the end of the day, the only number I haven't given a shit about is like the budget was $175 million, and as we're right now, they're at 129, and we're only on Saturday.
Yeah. Wow. No, but it's funny you mention. I forgot what the hell I was gonna say right now.
Oh, about the spinoff, Joker Harley.
Yeah, because more about the movie, that when Harley left with Joker, Joker took his little plunge, and then Harley was bitter.
Yeah.
And it was just focusing on Deadshot and the other guys. It was like the movie took a different tone because she wasn't in it anymore. And I think that goes for the comic as well. Like, she is a big part of Suicide Squad. Like, without her, you really don't have.
Oh yeah, actually. Right.
You really don't have Suicide Squad.
At that point, I'm like. At that point, it was like almost like I don't even want to watch the movie anymore.
right. And I felt like, along with the comic, I think the comic books. I think Jim Lee's doing a lot of this run.
I can't imagine this movie without Harley Quinn.
Without it, right? So when she, went that route, it was kind of like, what I'm saying? Like, okay, the movie sucks now. You know what I'm saying? But then when she came back, the movie got its spark.
Well, you know what it is, that once she was gone, you weren't focusing on the plot lines being kind of bland and dry, or like things weren't making sense. When she was gone, you started paying attention to the actual movie and the other characters. When she came back, everyone was like all freaking excited that she was back. Nobody gave a shit about these little weird-looking zombie guys getting their ass blown away or whatever,
At the end of the day, the movie's not perfect, bro. Like, it was just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really break it down with the zombie guys, with what Enchantress is doing and all that shit, it's weird as fuck. Like, what the hell? Okay, what is she doing? I'm creating a machine. What fucking machine? That thing with the thing.
You know what?
But don't get me wrong. That's the closest we're getting to, like, comic book, anything in a comic book. Exactly. You would see that in a comic book, like some crazy shit like that,
Exactly. I agree
so
with you.
I was, as a fan, I was impressed. Anybody else would be like, what the fuck is going on? But me, I was like, dude, this is a comic book in a movie right here. You're not going to get any closer.
But I had to give props out to David, David here? Yeah. That guy, I mean, he's written Training Day. He did the movie, and was it End Watch? The cop movie with. I
never saw that movie, man.
That movie is awesome. He's done some great films, but the great thing about him is that he doesn't do the same film twice. He doesn't do the same type of film twice. He does. He's not afraid to get in there and do a different genre, do a different thing. And for him to go ahead and jump into this genre and to kill it like he did it in this movie, like if you actually go by comic book, the source material. And to direct these characters to actually follow their comic book counterpart, that is amazing in itself. Because you got directors that have been doing this for a while and still can't get it done, right? They still can't get it. And this guy is awesome. I mean, just even down to the color scheme. I mean, he said, "Fuck it" with the soundtrack. Soundtrack is one of the most expensive soundtracks. They've been saying the soundtrack is one of the most expensive they've ever seen in a movie.
I didn't know that, man.
No, The only thing I'm a little bitter about is, like the whole two movies or two cuts or whatever it is that they did to get to this final version. I wanted to see the director's version of what this movie was supposed to be about, even if it wasn't all fun and games. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it got a little bit more serious. I think Joker was supposed to be a little bit more. I was watching a video with Jared Leto, and he was saying that they cut a lot of his footage out, a lot of
Well,
his
hers
stuff.
too. They cut a lot of her stuff out too.
So, you know what I'm saying? I think the movie was supposed to, maybe it was focusing too much on them. And they were like, no, this is about Suicide Squad. Even though, I'm sorry, certain people stole the show at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, let's do this cut. And they went by those fans in North California or whatever, and they're like, oh, let's just stick to this. I would have liked to see Ayer's final cut, at the end of the day, and seeing what he had envisioned in his mind for this movie,
If that's the case, Nelson, you know what? Then release a director's cut just like what we got for Batman versus Superman, and who knows? We may get that. I wanted to go back real quick to what Goodell mentioned, how David Ayer, was able to pretty much, bring this to the big screen, right? When I saw the movie, man, we haven't really talked about the editing of the movie. A good friend of mine really didn't like the movie because of the editing, like all the scenes going back and forth. And I'll be honest with you, man, I really didn't have a problem with it at all, because to me it's more like he got a bunch of comic books, Suicide Squad or whatever, and basically translated what was on there to the big screen, I thought the editing was really good, man. I actually enjoyed it. I mean, I remember, man, I don't know if you guys remember when Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man came out. It had almost, I don't know if it was Spider-Man or was it Hulk, where it had like cut scenes, like going across the screen like that, and everybody did not like that because it looked like a comic book and stuff. And I think that was like the start, right? I don't know if you guys remember the very first one.
With Ang Lee's Spider-Man.
Exactly,
yeah.
the one that, the bad one. But even with this one though, when I was watching it, the one thing that I liked, I mean, with the editing of the film is when they were introducing the characters. You start off the movie, and I think it starts off with Harley Quinn, and then it starts introducing the characters, and then it cuts to another scene about that character. I actually like that because how many times? I mean, could have done much better, more character development? Probably so, but the movie would be very long. I mean, as a fan, I wouldn't mind, but imagine you're introducing all these characters, and sometimes in movies you don't have a lot of background whatsoever.
Not for everybody.
Exactly. And what do people usually say at the end of the movie? I wish they would have developed this character more and this and that. You know what I mean? At least with this movie, in my opinion, every character that came through, you got an introduction about them, backstory or whatever on how they were and this and that. And I thought that was really cool. Even if it started off with Harley Quinn in the prison, in that cell, and then it cuts off to her when she was at the club with the Joker and this and that. I didn't mind. I mean, I actually enjoyed that, man.
Yeah, I really liked her backstory with Joker, like her at the club and all that bullshit. It was really, really cool. I feel like they just did it enough where you wanted to watch more. Like, I wanted to watch more of the Joker scenes with her in the background and all that stuff. Even with her in the bat, whatever the hell that stuff is that turned her white. Really cool, man.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they didn't show his backstory because we already know. This is the first time they show her. Right. So that was cool,
Yeah, it's interesting and funny at times to read some of these comments on social media, man, in regards to the movie and stuff. Like you said though, is like we don't really need to see his story. One thing I did like about the Joker is a different Joker. It's more of a gangster Joker.
It's more of a Dark Knight Returns Joker, man. Like the way he was dressed, everything. Maybe not the tattoos. There was a Joker with the tattoo, with the dragon tattoo in his back and all that.
Dragon tattoo in the back,
it's his own. You don't want Jared Leto to try to bite Heath Ledger's Joker or Jack Nicholson's Joker. It's you want him to do his own thing, and I think he did. He captured that.
Yeah, and when you mention Heath Ledger, honestly, dude, not at one point while watching the movie, and even after finish watching the movie, did I even think about comparing it to Heath Ledger. Because I'll be honest with you, man, Heath Ledger's Joker, you guys will agree,
is one of the most iconic.
Right, one of the best Jokers, right? Yeah. And honestly, dude, this guy, Jared Leto, I think he did a great job as this Joker, right? and I want to say maybe he had about what 10 minutes of screen time in this movie, if that, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
You know,
sure.
you look at Heath Ledger's, what, there was probably 40, 45 minutes, if not longer, in The Dark Knight. So there's not even a point in discussing and trying to compare both, man. They're both great, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, I wish there would have been a little bit more screen time for the Joker. But, you know, like I said, the movie's about the Suicide Squad, not the Joker himself. So I was fine with it, man. It was just good to see something new and different, you know, with this movie, and not a remake or something else. You know what I
It
mean?
needs
So,
to be. It can't be a rehash. I mean, and
exactly.
you know, if somebody's gonna redo a franchise or whatever it is, it needs to be something fresh and new, and people need to accept, you know, like or at least go with an open mind. I'm not gonna say accept. That's the wrong word to use. You know, and I feel like that's the problem with social media. People have this they raise the bar to that last character or that last movie or whatever, and it can't be like that. You have to go in with an open mind. It's a different character, a different actor, a different vision, you know, and
Right.
you know it is what it is, you know, and it's to the point where I don't even want to read social media's comments and stuff like that because it's like, dude, it's so negative and vile, bro. It's like
Hey,
come
most of
on,
the
dude.
time, it's so negative, and I haven't even seen the movie.
That's the worst part. You haven't even seen the movie. You're going by this reviewer's fucking comment, and that person might have hated or hates superhero movies. He's more into fucking, I don't know, you know, Lassie or some other fucking garbage. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Dude,
Eh,
I've had people come to me, not for this movie, but in the past, and they'll say, you know, that movie got a 32 Rotten Tomatoes, right? And you
but
know, I'm
this is
like,
going by the Rotten
yeah, and
Tomatoes
I'm like,
bullshit.
did you go see the movie? No.
Eh, 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 are you that dense that you're not thinking for yourself
Oh
and
man,
something
it's
or playing a video game or reading a book or buying that electronic and experiencing for yourself what what you like or what you hate about it? It's just sad, bro. It's
yeah.
like I don't know. I'm against it, bro.
Let me ask you guys this, man. What did you guys think of the final fight with El Diablo, Incubus, and as well as the Enchantress at the end? What did you guys think at the end, man? Like I said, with me, the villain Incubus was, I guess, like you said, Nelson, I have to agree with you. They had to create it, I guess, for the story, but he was kind of like weak, in my opinion.
I
Um,
mean, I think the comic book was like him and his sister were supposed to procreate and create some other thing. I don't think they were going to go that route. That's a little bit too much for a movie. You know what I'm saying? So they went with, oh yeah, her heart got stolen and whatever.
right.
The brother hooked it up.
Yeah. What did you think, Adele?
I actually enjoyed the last scene, the fight between. That's why I don't really know much about Diablo, but when he turned into that Mayan
Yeah, yeah, that
god,
was cool.
and everyone was just like, "What the hell?" He's been like hiding this shit for all this time, and then he started whipping that ass, and he was actually that scene was pretty cool, even though it was all CGI or whatever. That scene actually, I was surprised, and it made me intrigued to learn more about Diablo.
Yeah.
And but I like the scene, but what I really loved about the last part before they got really into the fighting scenes was when Enchantress was actually giving them the visions of what she could give them, and Harley Quinn had her vision of Joker and then kid. She's like, he married me. I was like, what? I was like, those little things was like, wow, this
Yeah,
girl
yeah,
really
that
is
was
Harley
funny as
Quinn,
hell.
bro.
Yeah.
I actually like that scene myself, actually.
Like, I mean, even that right there, my sister and I were looking at you like, wow, she really is Harley Quinn. Like, she just. And no, the Enchantress, the fighting scene and everything, it was really cool. I actually liked that last scene.
Yeah, I think she was really good. I think her name is Cara Delevingne or something like that. Yeah, I think she was really good in the movie. Um, yeah, man. Another thing too, I wanted to also mention that I liked about the film, and I think we talked about, man, is like the music, man. I think to me the music, when you have a great score that goes with the movie, it's just a better experience, man. I know Nelson, you like music and stuff, man. So
No, definitely, yeah. I think the score, even though it wasn't like orchestral or whatever, was really cool. Like I said, these days I'm not really into hip hop or anything like that, but I feel like with Joker and stuff like that, it really worked. It really set his mood. And I like that they didn't show him in the scenes. Like they showed him for that one meat scene when the guy's chopping the meat, and it's setting it up, and it had the hip hop in the back, and then eventually Joker showed up, and he's the guy kisses his hand. He's like, "Oh, I could tell you really mean that." It was just, I'm sorry, Jared Leto really killed this role because it was a different kind of Joker. It was like a...
Give me your...
he kind of reminded me of Black Mask a little bit.
What happened?
He kind of reminded me of kind of like Black Mask a little bit, as far as when he was in his gangster role.
Yeah. Like, you couldn't nail how he was going to react. I feel like in the theater, you could feel it in the room where you didn't know how Joker was going to react to things. There was that tension or something, in the room. And then when he reacted, everybody was like, "Oh!"
The tattoo on his hand, where every time he was just like, I thought that was like the quintessential of Joker right there. Because even when you look at it, you just laugh at that scene.
Yeah.
And that's something just batshit crazy that he would do.
No, and the funny thing is, the thing about the tattoos that people were like, "Oh, Joker would never sit there for that long and tattoo himself." The tattoos didn't bother me, bro. Like people cling on to the dumbest shit these days. It's like, give the movie a chance, let the fucking thing do its thing, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see more of him. I wanted to see more of him.
Well, you know what? That part, I understand because he did such a great job. That's why I want to see more of him. But I'm kind of glad they didn't show him like too much, because like Illyrio was saying, this movie it was about
Suicide Squad. But you know what? That's what you want to do in a movie, though. You want to keep it enough where you're drawing people in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he did the job. Just like with Batman. If he
was the main villain, it would be a different story. If he was the main villain, like Attack on Arkham, the animated movie, he was the main villain. If he was the main villain, huh?
That was a good anime.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed it, and that's why. I saw a little bit, some comparisons to that movie with this movie as far as the squad together. But like, if he was the main villain, I would be upset that they didn't show him as much. But the fact that he was just like the whole time was about to break out Harley, and just that relationship between them, I think they show him enough. And he did such a great job. You want to see more of him. And that's why I'm hoping that they show more of him and her together, or even against Batman. Because even that scene was great. The way he jumped on the car and she was talking about date night. That scene was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
Hey, let me mention something else too. Now that you mentioned, you're talking about when Harley Quinn was with the Joker in the car, right?
Yeah.
You know, one part that actually had me smiling, dude, is when she said "Batsy, Batsy, Batsy."
Yeah.
Dude, I'm like, that's Harley Quinn right there.
Yeah. She did great. Like I said, all the mannerisms, all the vocabulary of Harley Quinn. This girl nailed it. Like she just, everybody else, they were kind of like their parts. They did a great job. But like Captain Boomerang, he had the word Captain on his outfit. He threw the boomerangs or whatever. Killer Croc, he like ate people and this and that. Those are things that anybody really. But for her to catch every single mannerism, and for even the vocabulary, even the laughs, the just like. I mean, it was awesome. She did great, man. She did really great. I would watch the movie just her.
I like the part.
It'd be cool if they did the whole Poison Ivy thing with her though. Because her and Poison Ivy always run shit together, so that would be awesome. That the next movie would be her, and
That would be awesome. Hey, I wanted to bring something else up real quick. Two things we haven't talked about yet is I liked how the movie kind of starts exactly where Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice left off.
Yeah.
The
remember shirt.
That was cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, that was awesome, man. Because it's like right where it left off. It started at right. And then,
I wasn't even expecting that scene where the funeral scene.
Same here.
I saw that scene. I was like, no way, this is fucking awesome.
And then I liked that there was really no stinger after the the post credits. There was one after the first few credits or whatever, where you see Batman talking to Amanda Waller, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bruce
That whole
Wayne,
scene
yeah.
was actually really cool, man. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, but you know what, Illyrio, though, what was still annoying me from all these movies. It's annoying even on the small screen because Arrow does it, fucking Nelson knows, Flash does.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to know who the hell these people are. Like there is no secret. Like there's no point of wearing these fucking costumes or masks. Even
Yeah,
like
I mean, you know what?
Lex Luthor knew
From
who
the
Superman and Batman was in the movie. You know, now Amanda Waller. You know, Amanda Waller always knew who Bruce Wayne was.
Right.
She's like that government, but she's I think the equivalent to Nick Fury in for Argus versus Shield.
that's pretty much
so
what it
she
is.
knows.
Yeah.
But I mean, this guy's just walking around like gathering a team together as Bruce Wayne, and I just feel like in the shows, everybody seems to know who the hell Barry Allen is. That's Flash. Everybody always seems to know who Oliver Queen. Like, I just find that a little annoying that he's collecting a team as Bruce Wayne.
I think it's a double. It's a double though because we're watching it as the viewer. And we're seeing how big his crew is, you know, if it's Bruce Wayne or Oliver Queen or whoever it is, you know, and we're seeing that he knows all these people that know that they're Arrow, they know that they're Batman. You know what I'm saying? But
the thing with Batman, though, is that he always knows who they are, but a lot of people don't know who he is.
Yeah, exactly. No.
You know what I mean? That's my thing. Like Bruce Wayne, Batman is the greatest detective. He knows who everybody else is, and what makes him awesome is like, I know who you are, but you don't know who the fuck I am. And the thing is, like, Superman knows who he is because he got X-ray vision, but that was the whole thing. And for him to know who they are is great, but for everybody to know who he is, it's like, dude, why'd you even put on the costumes?
That's funny, man. God, I'm trying to think. What other? You know, we mentioned Viola Davis. I think she did really well as Amanda Waller. Honestly, dude, I can't think of anybody else. You know, you see Amanda Waller in the comic books, you picture
just how
Viola
serious
Davis.
this lady played that character, bro, and like nothing could break her. She shot everybody in that fucking room when they had to clear everything out. I was like, no, everybody's gonna die in this bitch. I don't care.
Yeah,
you know, like,
but that's Amanda Waller though. Yeah. Amanda Waller doesn't leave any loose ends.
But you know,
and everybody's looking at her like, what the hell?
Who's the actor from Inception that was supposed to play Rick Flag?
From
Hardy. Mad Max.
Hardy, right?
Hardy was supposed to play Rick Flag. Could you imagine Hardy playing that fucking role?
Dude,
I think this guy did a good job because he was so like he looked fucked up, like something was bothering him. You know, like he looked disturbed, and like it worked. I'm glad that this actor got it, and Hardy did it.
You know, in addition to
this guy's not RoboCop.
Listen,
he played RoboCop.
In addition to that, you know, like you mentioned. Originally, it was going to be Tom Hardy. He dropped out. Guess who else was probably going to be the Joker?
Oh, Joker? Who?
Yeah. Do you know who else? Ryan Gosling, man.
That wouldn't have worked, bro.
I know. I
enjoy Ryan Gosling's work. I'm a big fan of Drive, you know, but not for Joker.
Yeah, and another one I heard was that Emma Roberts. I don't know what other movies this lady's been in, but she was initially, or she passed up the role of Harley Quinn, and then that's when Margot Robbie came into the picture.
Dude, there's nobody else.
I don't see Emma Roberts playing her either. I don't think that would have worked
Harley
either.
Quinn, bro, is Margot Robbie, bro. That's it.
I think even for Margot Robbie, I had my doubts until I saw this movie, only because, you know, I've seen her work. And this is something completely different than what she's used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just glad that, I mean, this girl, she like Illyrio was saying, I mean, that the fact that she can act different genres, different, because she's British, you know, is she British or she's
Australian?
Australian, right? The fact that she can act with different accents, you know, she can do the American accents, she can do this.
It's funny, she got that New Yorker shit down, bro, because I didn't think she was going to have that, like, New York, whatever.
Well, that was another thing. Everybody was complaining about the accent. They didn't think she was going to have that Brooklyn-style accent. But then again, on Wolf of Wall Street, she did speak with a Brooklyn accent. Yeah. So she kind of like incorporated that for this movie. So it was cool. I mean, the one character that I thought was kind of like, I mean, she was great as costume design. She was great as far as who she's supposed to be in the comics. But as far as in this movie, I still don't understand why she was even in it. It was Katana. I
Yeah.
thought that the fact that with the Soul Taker, to incorporate her, I thought the reason, I was like, okay, so they got her in the movie, maybe she's going to use the Soul Taker to trap Enchantress's
like a
soul
bigger role.
to save June Moon. Yeah, exactly. Like for at least for a reason for her to be there. 'Cause honestly, if she was there or not there, this movie still would have flowed with or without her. Like she really didn't bring. Like I mean, she did awesome scenes. She had a great. I like some of her action scenes, and she was dressed like Katana. And the fact that the first time ever, because even in Arrow, she's in there and she doesn't talk to the Blade.
Same thing.
The Soul Taker doesn't. She's actually speaking to her husband through the Soul Taker. But
honestly, though, I feel like that
was a point for her to be there. Really,
that was a throwback to the comic a little bit with her talking to the sword and her husband and shit like that. I feel like that was a throwback to the comic, and that's cool because, like you mentioned, the Arrow version doesn't have that. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's big as shit, and it's like what's going on. Even I agree. She should have had more of a backstory. They just showed the one guy. Oh, you killed my husband.
Yeah, at least to connect her for why she's being there. Like, exactly. maybe she has to do it so that Amanda Waller can tell her who really killed her husband. Mm-hmm. I don't know, something that connects her to why she's there. Because whether she's there or not, she really has no
legs, right hand.
Yeah, that's what they say. Oh, she's here for his protection. It's like he had like a whole Navy SEAL team around him. Mm-hmm. Clint Eastwood's son was there. Playing in the movie as well. So I like I said, just if they would just connect her, that's just one thing that kind of bothered me about she. I mean, like I said, she was great. Her costume was awesome. The fact that they finally show Soul Taker shows that they're besides Enchantress, they're showing that this DC universe is getting into the whole magic stuff, the whole mysticism stuff too. And I love the fact where June Moon and Enchantress, when they flip, you see the whole hands like
Enchantress. I really like that scene too. Awesome. That's my part that I don't understand. Like it had its flaws, but it was the positive weighed out the negatives, and a lot. Like I'm gonna say a lot because the movie did good. It did it better than Guardians. It did better than Deadpool opening weekend, right?
On opening day, on the opening Thursday.
Like, chill the fuck out. Watch the movie. Who cares what this Joe Schmo who's in front of a computer typing his fucking shit away saying, "Oh, this movie's whatever." It's like, okay, bro.
I understand where they're coming from. If you don't know, like I said, this movie, is for DC fans. It was made just like Batman vs Superman. There's a lot of stuff in Batman vs Superman that if you weren't a fan, you wouldn't understand. And this one is the same. I mean, for me, they made for the fans. And but you know what? At the end of the day, that's who you really should be making movies for. The only thing I remember, I think I was talking to you, Nelson, on the chat room yesterday, was that Marvel just has a knack to just do it for Marvel fans and for the masses, and that's why I think they get better.
They excel,
better
in that
or whatever.
Yeah.
But this one they're DC. You have to remember DC is playing catch up. So they really don't have the time to make origin stories or time to really, they're playing catch up to where we get to the big stuff like Justice League. Now we're getting Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman is going to be DC's major cash cow coming up. And this movie was like a stepping stone. I loved how it connected from the earlier was saying Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman. It's in that same universe, and they actually showed like it's in that universe. Like it was, and
the
Batman being in there was awesome.
Yeah.
You're watching a live-action comic book movie because at the end of the day, when you pick up a comic, let's say like right now with Rebirth, Action Comics, I forgot what number they're on, 200 and whatever. They're starting you off from the middle, like you're fighting Doomsday right away. There's no backstory, bro. If you want backstory, you have to go back to that comic and read the damn thing.
Yeah, because everybody already knows. Well, that's what I'm saying, because everybody already knows those stories so much. Like Suicide Squad.
Comic book at this point. If you want more, go read the book.
I'm excited, man, that I'm a comic book fan because I enjoyed the movie, man. All right, so in all, here's my last take on the movie. So in all, it's a fun, kick-ass, badass movie. Like I said, Deadshot and Harley Quinn, Will Smith and Margot Robbie killed it on the movie. just be your own critic, man. Just go
Don't
check out
set
the
expectations. Just watch the movie. Have a couple of drinks before, eat whatever, and go watch the movie and have a good time.
Yeah,
That's it,
yeah.
dude. That's all it is.
The movie is definitely trippy. If you get a couple of drinks in here, you see all those lights and
Fuck it, who cares?
colors and everything. Hey.
So like, yeah, like I
it.
said, give it a chance. Go check out the movie. Be your own critic. I will tell you this. I mean, I'm loving the genre. I can't wait for the next movie. Wonder Woman is next. Even with my small gripes here and there, like Nelson said, the positive outweighs the small negatives I had. So with that being said, man, because I enjoyed the movie, Harley Quinn killed it in this movie, and it was a fun movie from start to end. So I gave it a strong 9, man, just because of that.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with that 9.
Nelson,
strong 9. Yeah, hard 9.
What about you, Goodell?
I'm gonna go with probably about 8.5, only because, like I said, there's certain like plot lines and stuff like that, and if it was just based on Harley Quinn, I'd give it a freaking 10 because her performance was a 10. That shit, a fucking 100. I don't know, like.
Hey, not being biased.
I'll give it 8.5. I mean, I'll agree with 8.5, 9. Yeah, I mean, this is a 9 because, like I said, I'm a DC fan through and through, even more than I am Marvel, and this was like, it was like a dream come true to see these guys with live action. So
one thing I will tell you this, man. I wonder how the movie would have turned out if it wasn't made for the fan, like they're saying. You know what I mean? Like if it was more towards the masses, I think it would have been really bad. That's just me, man. I like Nelson said, it's like watching the comic book
because they don't know the source material.
Huh?
You can't cater to the masses; they don't know the source material. So stick with what you know. And eventually they'll catch up. Yeah. Or if they dig it that hard, like Jared Leto said in an interview, if his Joker hits the masses that well, he'll be in the second movie. He'll be in his own movie with Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it. That's all you could do.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, and then real quick, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Sideshow Collectibles has pre-orders up for Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and the other characters, man. I'll tell you what, after watching this, I'm definitely going to get both Harley Quinn and Deadshot, man. So I'm pretty excited for that. Hey, another thing too, man. You know what I wish, man? After leaving this movie, I wish you could buy a Blu-ray already pressed and ready to be sold as you walk out of the theater if you like the movie, man.
Yeah, that would have been awesome, bro.
Because I would have bought it in a heartbeat as I'm walking out, and I would have watched it at home. With that being said, though, I'm definitely going to go check it out one more time. Goodell, you saw it twice, right?
No, well, I wanted to go see it today with Miguel, but I am going to see it again, though. There's a couple, because I think Nelson gave me a link of different Easter eggs, which I did catch most of those Easter eggs, Nelson, by the way, if I didn't mention it to you. And I did see the throwback to the comedian, the whole smiley face they were throwing into Watchmen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But there was a couple of things that I was listening on comicbook.com that this guy said he's going to go back and see the Easter eggs too. So I'm curious. And again, like I told you earlier, I think the other day, I was like, I like to watch these movies 2 times, 3 times just to catch everything. Because the first time you watch a movie, it's just like, wow, you're just like, you don't even realize what's in the background or what's going on. And then you see the second time, you already know what's going on, so you focus more on the movie itself. So yeah, I'm going to see it again.
Especially with this movie, with all the cutscenes and stuff going on, man, I think a second viewing. I did read, and I've been trying to go back and read people's views just because I didn't want to read them before the movie. But I did read this one guy's review where he said that after he saw it twice, man, he actually enjoyed it even much better because he saw things that he didn't see the first time, and just the same thing with Batman versus Superman. I saw things I didn't see the first time, and it goes with any movie,
It's one of these movies where you watch it the first time, I didn't know how to feel about it, like when I was watching it, but then eventually I was like, let me just let this shit go and just fucking enjoy the movie for what it is, and you end up enjoying, everything about it. You're just like, whatever, bro, who cares,
Look, if it makes you smile, the movie was good, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I laughed a lot in this movie versus Batman versus Superman, where you didn't laugh at all. And I laughed a lot in this movie. This movie, I mean, with Joker, especially, like I said, this guy really did a great job. I mean, if you have a Joker that really can make me laugh. Like even in the animated movies and the shows, I think every Joker, like Troy Baker, Mark Hamill, of course, they've done in the video games. They've done great jobs. The only Joker I didn't enjoy was probably Under the Red Hood. That Joker was kind of dumb. But for this Joker to make me laugh as much as he did, because because of his antics, especially with that, like I said, like the whole. I mean, I want to get that little tattoo on my hand. Just
like this.
That was pretty cool. No, I think it did a great job.
You know what was cool to see a different side of Joker. Like whenever they got to show a character a different side, like you could tell he was depressed that Harley wasn't there. And then the guy walked in. I forgot his name. He walked in. He was like, "Hey, look, I know where she's at."
That was
she's
common.
At this facility.
That was common.
Oh no! Well, you're talking about Common. No. Common was the one in the club. He's talking about Johnny Frost, though.
Oh,
he's talking about Johnny Frost.
He came in, he's like, "I know where she's at."
Right.
Yada yada yada.
That's
I like seeing a different side of Joker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah. Even Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, they're the creators of for the anime shows. And like in the animation cartoons, he always like kicks Carly to the curb and always leave her hanging, like to get caught or whatever. And he even said like even he liked the interpretation between them two. Because even Joker, you can tell like he cared for her, but there were times where he was like when she jumped into that vat of chemicals, he was about to leave her.
He was about to leave her. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna turn back.
And he's like, fuck, let me go get her or whatever. But he looked almost annoyed that he has feelings for her.
Yeah.
He doesn't,
That was cool. Like I'm saying, like I like this interpretation of Joker because I think Heath Ledger was a little bit of a psychopath. Like he wanted just to fucking kill and burn everything. The one before him, I'm having a brain fart here. Jack Nicholson, you know what I'm saying, was more. He was in that mobster, but it wasn't the same. There was no love interest, or kind of there was with Vicky Vale, but not really. And then this one was just like a love.
The other girl that he screwed up her face.
It was like a love-hate type of thing, just like Harley Quinn's gun, where it says love-hate. It was like the same thing. I think that they nailed it. They need to like push this into the Batman movie a little bit, along with whatever other plot that they have for that movie. And I think it'll do good. I would love to see Ben Affleck's Batman against Jared Leto's Joker and see what they do in that movie. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to mention two things. So I actually went with my wife, and she thought Harley Quinn was pretty good and pretty funny. But the funny thing about my wife, man, so we're driving back home, and we're talking about the movie, and she says to me, no lie, dude, she says, that guy looked like Will Smith. Dude, I do this. Like, I turn around and I was like, I know you did not just ask me that. I was like, that is Will Smith. Dude, we were just cracking up, man. But yeah, she enjoyed the movie as well, man. So yeah, man. So I gave it a 9. Nelson gave it a 9, and Goodell, you gave it what, 8.5, right?
I gave it 8.5. I mean, like I said, I think because of us starting this show, like I was telling you guys earlier, I don't know, I guess I go in these theaters now like with a more of an objective look at these movies. Like I said, I kind of get where some of these critics are coming from when I read, because if you're a DC fan and they hit all the characters just great, every single character they hit here is great, but then you don't really focus on the plot lines or anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You lose it because you're just so happy that they actually did the characters right. But we really, really look at like I said, it got kind of like twisted at the end. It didn't make a little sense. That didn't bother me, but I can see that if I look at someone who doesn't know anything about the movies or didn't care about the characters, I can see where there were some of the characters. Now, as far as the reviews, I agree with you guys 100%. I don't think it should be getting the percentage it's getting. Like,
better than really fucking Daredevil with Ben Affleck in it? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
That movie was horrible, dude.
Yeah. Hey,
that's the thing. You feel the movie is horrible. The Daredevil, when I first saw that movie, since it was the first time, that made me actually into a Daredevil fan. Because I never knew about Daredevil. And that's where I became a fan of Kingpin too, because of that movie. And I had problems with some of his like one-liners. The script was bad, like
The script was it was
the
badly
writing.
written.
No, not the script, the writing. Because some of the stuff, if you really look at it, some of the stuff for that time, for those movies that were coming out, I really didn't feel it was that horrible. I don't think it got the rating that it got. It was still kind of high.
Who played Bullseye?
No, that was pretty horrible.
That was fucking jacked, bro.
What's his name? Colin
Farrell. That's fucking horrible.
Yeah. But as far as Daredevil himself, the only thing that I saw they missed on was who actually trained him.
And I don't blame.
That's what I like about the show. The show was really good.
I don't blame Ben Affleck. I blame the writers, bro. It was fucking horrible.
Yeah. Well, that whole story is like this was like a husband and a wife and all this shit with money and everything. But what I'm saying is like the rating itself, it shouldn't have gotten this bad of a rating. I mean, really, I don't know what they expect.
Hey,
I really don't know where the hate's coming from.
I just want to add one thing, man, and you guys are going to agree with me, man. What these studios need to do is let the directors direct their vision. You know what I mean? Of what the movie should be.
Because all you little girls following the story, the people doing the trailer, they ended up doing a deal with them so they could bring their little happy vision to this movie, and that's what fucked up the vision or the idea for this movie.
That's what's happening with Justice League right now. They invited the press to one of the scenes to show them, hey, look, see, we listened to what you guys were saying. We're making it lighter. That's why they had like the whole interaction with Batman and the Flash, and so they can see that the DC is listening to what they're saying and making it lighter. And I'm like, fuck that, man. Just make the movie the way.
Make the fucking movie the way they make it. Read the fucking Justice League book and see how fucked up that book is, and then make it the same way. And
even the animated series, the animated movies that are coming out right now. Like I just showed my sister The Throne of Atlantis, and we watched Justice League War. I mean, there's people like there's got to be at least 1,000 people that get killed in those movies, and
I'm saying
it's a great movie. It's animated.
Hey, you know what though? You know what? I have a problem with what you just mentioned, where DC let the press go watch a scene. I mean, come on, dude, just do the movie, man. You don't gotta. It's like saying, hey, I mean, I get that where they're saying we're listening to the fans or we're listening to what you guys saying, dude. Just do the movie, like Nelson said. Pay attention to the source and just do the movie, man. Direct it and do it justice, man. Don't dictate.
You guys are getting butthurt because of the reviews. Man. Like I said in the beginning, the only number you should care about is the dollar bills at the end of the day, because you got a 27% Rotten Tomato score, but on IMDb they have I think it's like 7.2 out of 10, and there's like a 42% on Metacritic. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's a $175 million budget, and we're only on Saturday. We're about to hit Sunday, and they're already at 130 million. And what, 2 days?
Yeah.
That's the numbers these guys need to. I mean,
You know what the formula is, man. See Deadpool. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
Deadpool, because that movie did not follow anything. That movie didn't follow anything, bro. It just went for what the source material. Who cares?
Exactly.
Let them do what they need to do.
Right. Hey, so real quick, man, before we finish the show, I wanted to bring two things, man. Did you guys see any new trailers on the movie, man?
No.
Two trailers.
I was disappointed with the trailers they had for this movie, though.
Listen,
there was an Excalibur movie or something like that.
I saw that. Yeah.
It didn't look that bad.
Trailers I saw. One of them was called, I think, The Great Wall with
I missed that, bro. I went to go
with Matt Damon. That movie looks really cool. But the next movie, Nelson, I can't believe you haven't seen the trailer for it. It's your boy, man, Christopher Nolan.
Really? Oh, they showed the stop motion animation?
No, it's called Dunkirk. It's the epic war movie coming out from him, man. Starring.
Really? They showed that?
Yeah, they showed it's a teaser trailer, man. It's an upcoming British epic war film.
What's it called?
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk. I'm gonna scope it up.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just a teaser. You see like a bunch of soldiers in a big ship, and they're all kind of ducking because they kind of hear something in the air. It looks cool, man, and huge fan of Nolan.
Nolan goes deep, bro. So
exactly.
If he's shooting
man, that's another movie I can't wait to check out. So
there's something else going on there. You know?
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, guys. Yeah, so that was our review of Suicide Squad. Just make sure, guys, like I said, go check out the movie, man. Be your own critic. And hope you guys enjoy the movie. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next episode. Until then, man, you guys have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
Alira, what are you doing, bro? You waited. You're gonna.
Hey, I should have had this on when I was talking about Captain America, man.
Yeah, you should have. What other toys do you have back there, bro? What other props you gonna bust out?
I don't know, man. I'll think about it next time.
All right.
Bust out my bobblehead costume.